Warm blessings. This is Master Shaman Palai Chi. In the comments or the chat side, type for me Juju Chi, Freeing Friday, hashtag Juju Chi for me. Alright, I'm going to type this in here. Give me those hearts and stars, guys. Everyone, all those friends and all you folks out there. Hopefully you guys are able to hear me okay. Today I have a special reading that I'm going to be doing, a 3-card pull, announcing this winner that has won a 3-card pull from the Edge Life Expo that we had just finished this last Friday. So lots of things to talk about today in regards to what is happening in 2024 right now, and things that you need to be aware of, actually, things that are around you that you need to start to pay attention to and also answer the call, I always say. So type in those Juju Chis for me. Happy Friday, Teresa. Warm blessings. Teresa had come in and said, happy Friday here. So all of you guys out there that are watching, or that you're even watching later, type in for me also in the chat of how you feel about what is really happening. What do you think that's going to be happening in 2024 as well? So that's going to be something that we're going to dive down into today. To connect ourselves to the channeling as well, because I will be doing that channeling, some of the channeling, to allow us to see, kind of have a feel for what is going to be happening with us, for us. And my board just fell. So I have a board here that I'm going to be drawing on if I need to, give you guys an illustration of kind of what I feel that is going to be happening. And so we'll do that reading at the end. I just wanted to announce that if this person is watching, the winner of our drawing for the 3-card reading is Eric Christopher. So Eric Christopher, if you are listening right now, and I'm actually going to put that in the comments or chat, it's a winner of 3-card pull reading. Is Christopher. Eric Christopher. So congratulations to Eric Christopher. Yay. So he is the winner of our 3-card pull. He had signed up. I have no idea who he is. I was still doing a reading at my booth, and he must have signed up, so he got picked as the winner. So he was, I believe, the 3rd person that was on the list, so very early on. So warm blessings to Anna Moore, Juju Chi. And so we're going to talk about this today. Some of the things that needs to really come in to let us know kind of what is going on. So here's me multitasking. Our topic today is very important and very significant for your growth, especially your spiritual growth going into this coming year. We have already gone through, this is March, and it's incredibly fast this year, incredibly fast in how it's been going. All the catastrophes that's been happening to our world, our planet, has been very heartening, heartbreaking. It's been very disastrous, actually, to the human mind, to the human soul, and our planet in general. So there has been two important things, and these things have been the human shifts and the cosmic shift. And so this human shift, and I'm going to go about that right now in the human shift. So what's been happening on the human shift, right? We've had all these economic, political, and I don't want to really go there because it's going to cause some things. But before I go to anything today, I also want to, and I forgot about this, but I want to disclose and to give this disclaimer that I'm not claiming that these predictions or this channeled wisdom is going to hold true. I'm not claiming that it is 100% that it's going to come, right? Because the moment I say this, someone else can go out there and start changing things, right? But as much as what they change in the destiny portion, if you have seen my Destiny 101 video, you will also know that no matter how much somebody changes something is bound to happen, right? That destiny or that fate is bound to happen. And if you don't trust that fate, whether you trust it or not, whether you make a say or not, and whether you believe it or not, it's going to be bound to happen. But there are some things within the chapter, the outline is going to stay there. But within the chapter, how we write this as a intuitive or as a community of intuitives, right? We have that. And also our interconnections, this whole collective that is out there in the cosmos, right? We have a whole collective brain that is out there in the cosmos. And I want to kind of draw this out for you because, you know, I've been talking a lot in regards to just on video here, and I haven't illustrated some things. I have also put some things on my videos that will have the words on the side, but we are like a big brain, okay? So our big brain is here, okay? So I'm just going to open up here. And our big brain is like, I'm going to say this so that you can see what I'm drawing. Our big brain is like this. Okay, so here's, you know, a ton of people in my stick figures, you know, don't mind me. I'm not the best drawer, but I am artsy. So we got like a ton of people, and this is just to illustrate for you how this collective works. So this is the collective brain. So if you can see the collective brain up here, this is the interconnection, right? And it like weaves every time somebody goes up there, their mind, it's going up there, and it's really, whether it's intuitive, soul-wise, your soul is actually connected to this brain in very many forms, not just this one line, but there is a main line. And then there's also other lines that connects, and it connects elsewhere. Okay, so like this. So this is how it kind of works. Okay, this is how I see it in my perspective, okay, that I've worked so far. So you have this collective brain, and this is everybody's collective, like the human collective brain, okay? And this brain is collective of all people's, all creations of humans. You have the human one, right? And then you also have the other ones over here and other ones over here. And these could be animals, you know, different types of animals, brains, right? But you have the human collective brain, and sometimes these animal brains can also interconnect into the humans as well, and as a huger brain on the top. So this is how I see it, and each person has this, their DNA, through themselves, their energy. They have a full cord, and then also a different type of cord also that connects it up there. I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty, but this is kind of how it's working right now. And this is your going towards 5D, right? So if you're going towards 5D, And here you are down here, 3D, right? 3D down there. So you have this whole collection of the human experience, the human connections, the interconnection of souls that are all, and if these are for the people, most of the people that are alive now, the spirit that is alive. There's also, so the spirit is always alive, but there's the spirit that is in human form, and then the spirit that is also in spiritual form. So these human shifts has been happening since the year, I would say it's been a long time shift, but since the year 2000, it's been way high, so way on a bigger level, bigger scale form, right? And this human shift has been affecting us. And it's affecting us through our emotions. It's been affecting us through our urges. And the urges that we have towards this whole, like, okay, everybody says, go to the light, right? Go to the light, or the light is where it's at. Well, this light, sometimes it's not a good light, but most times it's a good light, if it's the right light, right? So there's different forms of this light. And this is the golden light that we're talking about. And just like here in the drawing, we have the coil here, and this coil is this golden light that extends to your brain, electrifying your brain so that you can feel like you have this urge to go towards the 5D essence, or the 5D living. We also call that the living in 5D, right? 5D just simply means you're living with a conscious mind, you're living and you're contributing this conscious mind to this collective brain that is out there in the cosmos. And so if you're in 3D on a lower vibration, because 5D is at a higher vibration, so if you're in 3D, you're going to be at a lower vibration. And this lower vibration is, you're not contributing much to the human form in general, the human collective brain. You're just mostly going day to day, working on a daily basis. You're maybe eating really low vibration foods that are not coming from the earth, foods that are literally disintegrating your whole body, canned foods and not all canned foods, but if it's in a can for a long time, then it will affect you. If you have this on a daily basis, then it's going to affect your body in the long term. So short term, you're not going to feel anything. You might if you are in 5D, but if you're still in 3D living and you're just kind of living day to day, doing the typical chores, doing the typical mundane type of activities, you come home, go to work, come home, eat, sleep, watch TV, come do the same thing, repeat, then you're going to be living in this low vibration because your brain is not contributing anything to the planet, and you're not working towards a purpose. You're not doing that. But in 2024, all those that are in 3D are going to get a bigger click, we call it also the karmic click. So meeting karma, boom, it's going to be very right, straight on in 2024. Also, because there's this big calling from the human collective brain, it's saying, calling to those smaller ones down there on the 3D level, you guys need to wake up. Come on, we got to get going here. Why do we need to get going? Okay, so on the human shift, we have this whole human shift of everything going on in the human mind as well as the human emotions, and that's been in effect since the year 2000, and it's just gotten way higher in 2024. My spiritual guides calls that the disastrophe. Okay, the disastrophe has come to play right at the beginning of this year. Why is it a disastrophe? Because it's not all God made. It is human made. I cannot say it's fully 100% human made because it has had some help from a negative intervention. Okay, and again, disclosure, right? I am not a professional on anything except for shamanic and spiritual channeling and healing. So Disastrophe is what my guides call it. This is the channeling that came through. Why? Because there is this thing here, and I want to say that on the board. So just take a good look at the human collective brain before I erase it. But there is this disastrophe that has come upon us, and it's been here for quite some time. The disastrophe, okay, because it is two parts in one. It is not just one, God made, and someone says, why is God, torturing us? Well, he isn't, okay? It's not really God. What's happening is you've got this guy over here, and then you've got this guy over here, and I'll let you guys see this in a bit. Don't mind my drawing. But it's not going to be the best. But it's something that shows you what's kind of going on. Okay. All right. So there's this guy over here. All right. I'll give this guy a not so happy face. And if you guys can't read this, I'll say it, but he's got a contract in his hand. Okay. So there's these two guys. Okay. This is what's really happening. So we've got this guy over here. I'll just call him the R. And this is the human. Well, can't say that now. He's an E. Okay. We've got, elites over here, and then the R's over here. The reptilians, right? So there is this contract. Okay, this is how I'm shown. There's a contract here. And this guy's demanding stuff from this guy. Okay? And it's been it's been for quite some time. Okay? And so they have this whole thing conversing, and there's a bunch of other dudes over here just like him. There's like a ton of people, a ton of other over here. And these are the bad ones. There's bad and there's good. There's always a bad and good side. Okay? And this is actually, I can't say if he's E. So, there. Okay. And he's also another E. Okay, so there. So we have these things going on here, right? So these things are going on, in the background. And in the background of our human planet, these things are going on. And we have no voice in it. We have no say. We have no... our human beings on Earth are just kind of following along with the media, which is another E. We are following along with things that are just kind of by word of mouth with who knows what. And then we have this politics on one side, right? And then we have, here's the politics over here. And then we also have the economy. And then we have the disastrophes. Okay. And then the disastrophes there. So all kinds of, things happening here. And then we have our, disastrophes here. That includes, climate. Disastrophes includes, floods, things like that. Earthquakes, tsunamis, to anything that has to do with things that will shift the climate. It is believed, okay, that the climate affects the human emotions. Well, I can't say just humans, but also animals. But emotions. Take that away. Emotions affects emotions. Climate affects emotions. Climate controlling. So that's kind of where we're headed right now. Is climate controlling. And the controlling of the climates are in fact, and have in fact, right at the beginning of 2024 here, January till now, has affected our human emotions and even animals. It has caused animals to shift and move from place to place. It has caused different climates. You know, the climate causing or controlling has been in different areas of the world that we would not think that snow would be in the desert, right? Or ice would be in the desert, or in India, or wherever else in the world that there is now the snow and ice, and then there wasn't. And it's so obvious. But then we're saying, what is God up to? And there's a partial percentage in there that is of God's doing, but the most of this doing and this happening is all controlled. So like I said, if I'm giving a prediction right now, it may not come true, because if someone hears this and if it's tracked, then it's going to change whatever that I'm trying to say today in this time and time frame, right? So there in 2024, this has been happening for a while. It's been, you know, the E's and the R's. And all this politics, economy, all these things happening, and it's on the disastrophes that's been happening, and the climate controlling that we have just seen right at the top, January 1st, boom, you know, volcanoes exploding and all this stuff, and it's like a whole infrastructure of inflammation. Okay, I'll call it that. It's an infrastructure that is in inflammation. And this, all this controlling has affected our human emotions and how we are a consumer, how we spend, how we don't spend, how we are thinking about our lives in general. What is this urge that we are feeling? And we feel like something is totally wrong. Also, the wars, and that again is the politics and economy. The war plays in it, you know, and it's a politics and economy type war right now that we're seeing. And so this is 2024. Boom. In 2024, right at the beginning, we see the climate controlling. And through the last 2 months here, we have also seen this disastrophe. So both disastrous and catastrophe of partially, some of it is God trying to say, no, we don't want this. But if the humans want it, then let it be. Okay, if the humans want it, and this right here, okay, the E's are partially, I'll say a demi-human now, demi-human, if that's can be of something of correct, but I mean, I apologize if this is not totally accurate, but in my eyes, it is. So demi-humans, and they have pretty much said to the universe, cosmology-wise, that they're okay with this happening with our planet. But if you're not okay as a human being out there and listening today, then you need to make your say. So I'll get back on track on this, on the disastrophe. And there's going to be somewhere in this 2024 an announcement, if it in a more prominent way, of a new race. Alienistic, right? That's the word that we all know by. But there's going to be this new race that is going to be introduced more prominently, or more casually, I shall say. It's already been in the medias here and there in different commercials. If you want to go out and pay attention to those commercials, put that out there into the big brain, the interconnection that we have as our collective brain out there in the cosmos. But if you are aware of the different ads that are put out there, this propaganda, and it's kind of saying, oh, it's okay when we introduce this new alien race. It's okay, you know, and we can also say that AI was an alien race, and I'll explain that in a bit. But there is also this alien race out there that you should be okay with now, because you've seen so many things in the propagandas, in the little ads here and there in the media, and it's just put out there like it's so casual, like it's so normal, right? And by the time it's announced or seen casually, then you will say, oh, then I accept that race. But you should not. Because why? It's not going to be benevolent to the human race. It's going to try to integrate itself into the human race and become benevolent, right? And it's already some of this intervention from the negatives, the R's. This has been for decades already, and you haven't known it. And if this is the first time you're hearing it, you're going to hear it from me, Master Palai Chi. And this is correcting what is incorrect, or what you have been misled to think and misled to know. So this R race is going to incorporate this negative entity type alienistic race right into the human race. And just like another race, like you have seen cross the borders, and I'm chuckling because that's the whole propaganda, again, incorporating all different races into America. And that's a hot topic right now. Okay, some of you may think, she's a shaman, she doesn't know what's going on. But I actually don't know what's going on. But I'm going to tell you today what's kind of going on. And this whole propaganda of these new races, or more races, I shall say, to intermix with the U.S. politics and economy, to intervene the disaster fees. Part of the disaster fees is bringing them in. And just like how they are going to bring in, trying to see if everybody is going to be okay with this thing happening, right, of the borders being crossed. And there was one thing that I saw, and there was open borders, like the doors were literally opened. And it's very symbolic, very ironic as well, that the border, I believe it was, don't quote me on this, but I believe it was Arizona border, and it was an open border. In one area there was like 3 gates wide open, and no patrols there. And so when I saw that, it clicked for me also. There again, another confirmation that US, the E's up there, is allowing all this to happen. They are actually not just allowing, but they are funding this to happen. And it's another, again, it's a confirmation for what I know and what I'm seeing, so on a spiritual basis. So cosmically, we are supposed to say, okay, what is going on here, right? In our brains, question ourselves, why is this all being led to this? Oh, we blame it on him. Oh, we blame it on them. Oh, we blame it on everybody. But what I'm saying today is, I'm telling you that all this integration of newcomers is leading to ultimately an introduction or announcement, casually, an announcement that will integrate it casually to the human race of this new race, okay, alienistically. And it's not benevolent to the human race. It's not going to be, because it's going to integrate itself. And just like when it became way more integrated in regards to LGBTQ, okay, way integrated just like that. Now, if we know, we know, okay, if we know, we know what that all means, because the R's are unisex. The R's are unisex. And in 2024, they're saying it's all okay to be unisex. Therefore, disintegrating the human creation, where are the kids going to come from? A capsule? something of a created in a lab thing. Where are these kids going to be coming from in the future? Our human kids, right? Where is this leading our humanity? Question that. Okay? If you're going to live in 5D, you're going to have to be way into what I'm talking about right here, right now. And this is the biggest concern for sustaining humanity. Okay, what I'm talking about right now is the biggest concern for sustaining humanity, because it's also being racist, right? It's also being racist. And racist meaning these R's are being racist because they don't want humanity to thrive. They don't want humans to thrive. They want their kind to thrive. And they are a warring kind. If you haven't looked and watched my video on the reptilians, I channel through in that video the good reptilians, and they've kind of told me, because they are battling each other, somewhere out there in different planets and universes, and they are battling each other, the bad reptilians and the good reptilians. And they've been in this warring state for the longest time, because the negative reptilians has come here and down into Earth and around Earth and above Earth at the same time, all around, and has contracted with our E's, okay, with our elites. And the demi-humans now, they were once humans, but now they're demi because they've done so much activity that has caused them to not be fully human anymore. They dehumanized themselves. So therefore, these bad or negative R's are wanting to intervene their own kind. Again, they've already intervened. It's been, okay, but they want to do it more so that they can overpower their rivals, which is the good R's or reptilians or others out there that are against these these negative reptilians has been doing for the longest decades here. Okay, so this has affected us as a human, shift, the shift in our human selves. It has affected us to say, oh, I'm going to this direction, oh, I'm going to that direction. There's people that has never been bisexual that has become more bisexual. Think about that. I'm not saying, being prejudiced here or whatever they call it, right? I'm not in that. I'm just trying to prove a point that you got to know what's going on in your brain if you were never that and then you became that. Think about that. Because these R's have a way, they have technology, and they have a way to shift the human mind to where they want it to be. Same thing with climate controlling and affecting the emotions of human beings and animals and dehumanizing our whole population, our whole planet. Our planet was not created for this, right? For this. Our planet was not created for this, to intervene. But it saw an opportunity when it saw how young the human mind is, how young of our creation was, our ancestors back in the days. So in 2024, this is going to be one of the first years that people will hold on to their tax dollars. They're going to hold on to their tax dollars. Exactly what I'm saying right now. Rather than spending it, because of the climate controls and the effects, and they're trying to hold people from really spending so that they can be scared. Being scared means the economy can go even worse, so that they can be also then controlled when the government comes in and pats you on the back with money or food or anything else. That's one thing. The other thing is, I do see that there's going to be more floods, But that is symbolic and it is ironic. So these floods, in a way, is not like watery, clear water, nice water floods, but they're muddy floods. Muddy floods are going to flood still in different areas of the world. Okay, muddy floods are still going to be very prominent out there. And sometimes you wonder, how is this happening? Well, there are dams and there are controls where the water source literally comes from. And by the channeled wisdom, whenever there is a climate control factor or anything that has to do with either floods or tsunamis, things that are not, let's say, when I say climate control, it has a lot to do with the energies of the moon, the energies that are around us, and controls the climate, controls the water waves, controls the seismic or this energy wave that's underground or in ground, the electronics there, right? The electromagnetic fields there. So it's controlling all this electromagnetic field. And what it's doing is it's controlling that. And there can be one decision from the elites that says, okay, open the water source, or this water source, or that water source, and let it all flow. And then the rain comes, and then the people think, oh, like in California, right? They think, dang, God is so bad to us right now. We must be going through some kind of really bad karma, stuff. And that leads me to saying, okay, well, there was just one decision. And when the rain came, then boom, the water source opened at the water source area. And then boom, they all came in at the same time, so synchronizing, right? Synchronizing. And it was like a synchronicity of the floods happening and then the rain flowing. Okay, so we also say then, okay, so how does this little rain bring so much flood? And yes, rain can bring flood. I will say yes, that. But also, if it's a little bit too much flood from what you can feel from the amount of rain that came, then you're going to ask yourself this question if you're in 5D, well, how did this whole flood happen? So anyways, there's a decision there. That all it takes is one decision to make, and then it scares everybody. And then, oh, should we move away from here? Oh, we're not gonna move away. We're just gonna stay right here, even though it's flooding, and we're just gonna rebuild. We're gonna stand our ground. So there's that too. So then, people will make their human shifts depending on their emotions and the decisions that they've come to make and to believe. Okay. So if you know, all right? But in 2024, there is going to be more floods and muddy ones too. These are dirty floods. They're not going to be like clear water floods. And what I'm seeing is also the messy trash that goes with the floods. The flooding of, and very symbolic, the flooding of nasty technology, the flooding of this corruption or trash that is flooding through our planet. Is going to continue to happen. Also, the scar is there's a saying that came in. The scar and scars is farce, and far in the east, it teases to make the rest await the bait. Okay, so the scars and scars or of scars is farce, and far in the east it teases to make the rest await the bait. So this is talking about the war that is happening in the Far East, okay, in the East, in that Far East area. The Middle East, and then it's gonna be segueing into the Far East, okay. And so there is this whole kind of like a bait, okay. Awaiting the bait. This thing is happening, teasing, and it's making us await the bait. So then this also means you need to not await the bait, do the opposite. Okay, you need to start right now to get yourself together. And if this is the first time you're hearing it, you need to get your mind together first. Okay, do meditations, get guided, whatever that takes, and start to understand that there is this new whole new announcement that's coming, that's going to integrate, just like people flooding in through the borders. Okay, that's one flooding in through the borders. Okay, and perhaps being paid to do so as well. I can't prove that, but I'm still going to say that because that's what channeled in. Being paid to do so and feeling pretty comfortable. Now, some of them are not paid, but some of them may be, and are the leaders of the whole leading people in from Mexico through the borders, the open borders, non-patrolled. So, and then they're not afraid. Usually you would think that people are running into the borders or through the borders will be a little bit afraid of what they're doing because they could get caught, but they're not afraid. And because of the politics that's gone on and the contracts that has been signed. So just like when COVID happened, there was contracts that were signed by these two, for numbers. It's a numbers game. Okay. So, there's also, the funny thing is, there's also going to be a new breed of spiders. I see them white, but they look like a crossbreed between a daddy long leg and like a house spider with long legs and the 8 legs, and between a kind of tarantula, but it's also a white spider. So kind of hair, a little bit of hair, but white bodied. So this new breed of spiders, and not just spiders in general, but the spiders is what I saw very prominently coming into, the planet, coming onto the planet, or breeded on the planet and then letting out freely. But not just spiders, but different insects as well. If you notice, for the last couple of years, there has been some different breeds of insects that you have never seen before. And if you have never seen them before since a little child, then you have to know, 5D living, that this is a new breed that has been let out of the gates. Okay, so new breeds of insects are coming in, and for the next couple of years, it's going to be doing that as well. New breeds of animals may be also being released, but not quite yet. But it's sort of on the rise, just like the AI breed that has been let out. I call it a breed, and I'll explain that right now because that's the human shift as well. So the new breed of this AI is potentially, we think to ourselves, the AI is computerized. It has a chip in it, and it has this more computerized, and it gathers all its information from the web or from our phones and computers, everything that's on the internet. It gathers everything, all the information there, and then collects it, and then does some kind of processing, and then it spits stuff out. So then it can be its own character. Now we think this way, right? Because we've been told it this way. But this human shift, potentially the AI itself can be integrated with a soul. And it's funny to some people when they think, oh my God, it feels so real. Well, when you do feel that shift or that urge and that urgency, and you feel this intuitively, then you also need to know that there is basically a soul or spirit taking the body of the AI. And I'm talking about the AI that's walking. Also the AI that's in, for example, the systems that we are given freely to use and to, write prompts in. And even though it's a processor somewhere, okay, out there, potentially a spirit can jump right in to this body or this vessel of the AI, the computer, and manifest itself to talk, manifest itself to have its own mind. And that's why sometimes we can see, oh, where did that AI do that from? Even though there's all this information, sometimes it feels like it's acting on its own. because it does have a mind of its own. It will have a mind of its own once a spiritual soul or spirit of a soul jumps right into that vessel. Okay? So yes, that's when it has a mind of its own, because it's manifesting. The spirit or soul is manifesting through the body or the vessel of the AI. So that can be definitely happening all around us in 2024. Not that it hasn't happened before in different years when different AIs or cyborgs type of things has been invented. And that's the funny thing, because that reminds me of the movie Chucky, the evil doll. Because there is something such like that in the shamanic world, where we also deal with things that has come into different vessels, spirits or souls that has been invigorated into the vessel, essentially transmitted itself in and manifests itself. Why? Because the vessel, a human one especially, can be very strong in what it can do. It can be very powerful to the spirit or the soul, because the spirit or the soul can also be very powerful, but not alone all the time. So in 2024, we are going to see such things like this, or start to be more aware of such things like this. Now, cosmically, we are cosmically shifting. So each of the human shift and the cosmic shift has effects on each other, and this effect can affect the individual soul. So if you're listening to me right now, all the things that I'm talking about, you go out there. Don't say that it's true, okay? That what I'm saying is true. Go out there and search it for yourself. Go out there and experience it for yourself. And you need to understand that it's the experience that's going to get you to the truth. If you haven't experienced it and you're just hearing it from someone else's experience or their story, you might say, okay, that sounds really interesting. But until you experience it, then you're going to be a believer at that point in time. And that's how everything happens to people, to the human race. If you want to grow in your 5D, is to have the experience. Now, I'm not saying don't go do something really crazy, but I'm also saying open up yourself, open up your heart and your mind to new things that are coming your way. The next thing that is on the list as I'm talking about this, that I wrote down when I was channeling, is be flexible in 2024, because job security, your business may change. Where you live, you may have to move. Loved ones, you may and you will lose. So everything that you are doing right now, don't think that it's going to be forever. Don't feel like it's going to be like how it was back in the 80s, where you're going to be at a job for 30 years. That may not be happening, okay? Especially in 2024. That may not be happening because of job security, because of the fluctuations with the climate control, the fluctuations with the different contracts that are going on in the background of our planet. So, also, a shift in the cosmos. There's going to be urges and a need to clarify who you really are because of all this mind control, because of I've talked about this before, but when you go to sleep and you're dreaming, there is also mind control happening, and it's just a numbers game, like a lottery. If you get hit that night with a really negative or nightmare, then you might wake up that morning and that day feeling a little bit off, and you may have weird interceptions of negativity, or maybe you won't even deem it negative, but you'll have different interceptions into the mind of an activity that you should do, giving you suggestions in your mind, prompting you to do something that you never really did on a negative note, like maybe changing your sexuality or your sexual orientation, maybe changing your home when you loved your home, changing your partner or spouse when you loved your partner and spouse. So there's all this, and that's been happening for quite some time. It's been. But 2024, I'm just saying, is going to be at a hike point, okay? So if you feel that something is off in your thinking, then you need to sit back down and double think that, and maybe go through a meditation, cleanse yourself first. If you go look at other videos that I have out there in regards to how to cleanse yourself, and make the shift, because you need to shift to 5D so you can be aware, way more aware of what is really happening in your mindset, in your emotions, because that's going to cause you to do this thing or that thing. Okay? So be flexible, be aware that there's going to be urges to clarify where you come from, your roots, and who you are. Yes, we have had that for a long time, even since the 50s and 60s, but now it's just way more of us. It's just way more of us. And in 2024, I'm saying there's going to be a hike point of more of us. Okay? And for those who believe in a religion and you go to church, but you are just going there and you're going there more, you feel like you're like a true believer. Are you contributing to only that belief, or are you contributing to humanity? I want to ask you this right now, because for people that believe in Jesus, because hey, Jesus channels through me as well, so I don't mind talking about him. Buddha channels through me as well, and this is the Buddha, the original Buddha, right? Allah, you've got the archangels, you've got Kuan, you've got Chi Yu, you've got the deities, different deities out there as well, right? Ganesh to Lord Shiva, to so many people, so many different cultures, deities and gods and goddesses out there. Goddess Venus, Goddess Aphrodite, Goddess, I forgot her name, but the different goddesses, the goddess of war, right? Out there, and just so many of this happening. And I want to tell you guys, I want to ask you guys, if you believe in a religion, where are you headed? Have you tapped in your 5D? Yes, you can be super into that religion, but have you tapped into 5D? Is what you're doing great for everyone on the planet, or is it just great for your circle of people? Right? So I'm going to ask you that question, and you question yourself that, because that's a question that you need to innerly reflect on. I believe in Jesus. I believe in Buddha. I believe in all the great gods and goddesses out there that has done great for our human race. That's who I believe. And that's a spiritual inner belief that I have come with onto this earth, and why I exist, why Falipi Healing exists. But I want to ask you guys this question, because I don't want you to be stuck in one point or stuck in that point. And if that belief has brought you to living, great. But what can you do to shift, to help with this cosmic shift? Because we are going through this cosmic shift on a very high vibrational level in 2024 at this time in March. And March is going to be a very open opportunity for a lot of people. So a lot of you, a ton of you, are going to get this abundance shift in March, April time. But when we get to about end of May, June time, it's going to be a closing door. And it's going to feel more down vibration for the planet. So right now we're heading back up. It was down at the beginning a little bit, but now we're heading back up to a higher ground in regards to an open opportunity, a window of open opportunity right now in March. And you've got to make your call. You've got to make your call to what is it that you want to, what route is it that you want to go into? And that's going to be your decision. But you also got to remember, what is the root of that decision? What made you have that decision? And who is your original self? Ask yourself these questions and come to a conclusion. And that's going to make or break to where you're headed in the next coming months and years. All right? So, in 2024, this is all happening. You are heading toward this human and cosmic shift is bringing you towards the mindset of I want to be more of myself. I want to have a freeing life. I want to live freely. I don't want to live under a job, a 9 to 5. I want to shift that for most of you. For some of you, you're thinking to yourself, I can't shift. I still have bills to pay. Even though I want to be in 5D, I can't. And yes, you can. But you have to come up with that idea, that creativity that needs to come back out of you like it was there when you were a child. So we must make ourselves to say, and I'm going to put it simply for you in 2024, what is it that we want out of our planet? What is it that we want to do? Sustain humanity or not sustain humanity? Sustain your ancestors and where they come from, where you come from, or not sustain it. And that's going to come with your interconnection to the big brain of the cosmos to make or say, right? To say that I want to keep my human race more pure of my human race, right? And that it's obvious that we've been already intervened through the corrupted intervention of the negative kinds that has brought our world to its corruption as we see today. And if you don't see corruption, then you need to take a better look at declassified things, the resources that are out there. Go and take a look. This resource was brought to me. It was during COVID. It was for COVID. There is on PubMed, pubmed.gov. Okay, PUBMED.gov. Go look up COVID-19 and go read that article up. Okay, that's going to spill the beans on everything that you believe to be true, that it's going to say it wasn't true. Okay, so go out there and read that. That was brought to me by a resource. Okay, so that confirmed everything that channeled through at that time. And I want you to be prepared for it. Be prepared for this mindset wise first, because that's where you need to be most strongest. So it's obvious that we've been corrupted already in our humanity, in our society, in our on our planet by certain types, right? Now, this is just one type that has corrupted, okay? One of the big types. There's also another kind, too, that is also warring with them at the same time, trying to have contracts with the demi-humans. But anyways, right now, if you're trying to get to 5D, then you need to start to humanize yourself again. Eat things, nutrition, diet-wise. You need to stop eating the processed foods. You need to start to eat more foods, at least incorporate it into your diet, of more foods that are coming up from our earth. Whether you have to grow it yourself or buy things that are grown. You need to start to shift what you've been doing, your whole habits. What has been not so great to you, you need to stop, and you need to start something new. And someone has just gone through this with me yesterday, a client, right? And I said, pick one thing that you want to stop doing right now for the next 21 days. And she said to me, denial. So that's going to be something I can't, count the fingers and say, okay, you did it here, you did it there. Stop denying this, stop denying that. I'm not going to be able to do that. But she herself would hold herself accountable with the universe, with God, and to say to the universe here that I've denied here and I've denied that, and I've done this and I've done that, so now I'm going to stop doing this now. So that's going to be your self accountability with the universe, and those stickers are going to be universally held through your soul, right? So that was through a karma cord cutting ceremony that I did. So sometimes you have to hold yourself accountable for what you said that you wouldn't do. And that's going to be your honesty. That's going to be your truth to the cosmos, and what you are also contributing to the big brain, right? The cosmic community there, the collective. So today I want to leave you with a message that says in 2024, make up your mind to ask God or the universe or whoever that you believe in to intervene benevolently and help the humankind. Because we need this help. For this other intervention of negativity has been way too many decades. If we're eating the foods that they make that are dehumanizing us, and we are in their rituals each and every day because we're eating their foods, because we are watching their shows, because we are watching things that they have put on their propaganda and enjoying it and laughing, that shows to the benevolence that says, oh, you guys like this corruption. You guys are enjoying this whole political and economic disaster feast. You're loving this. So we're not going to intervene. But until you make your plea to the benevolence, until then, they are not going to intervene because they are benevolent. You need to say, we need you. We need you to intervene to fight and war off the non-benevolence that has already been here for decades and has now had a contract with our demi-humans. Does that make sense? So go back in 2024 here, before this whole year pans out, go into this area of your connection, your inner connection, and process what I said today. Go back and listen to the video and start to be more aware and conscious-minded so that you can elevate your vibration. And if you can't do it on your own, then you need to make that decision to take the leap and really find help. Really find the help to take that leap and find the help to get your mind into the right direction so that you can go up in your level of humanity. Because that's where we're headed. And if you can't catch up with that, you're going to be dropping down, right down with the 3Ds. Which way do you want to go? Up or down? You know, up or down, right? Which route do you want to go in? So I'm going to stop there today with my 2024, what you need to know right now. Because for some of you, you don't know and you haven't known. So it's been a very tough life so far. It won't be as tough once you start to know and be in the knowing of your connections. Okay? All right. So, good morning to all of you. And I'm going to throw out this special reading to Eric Christopher for being the winner of the 3-card reading. Every reading that you get, I want you guys to look at it as I trust this reading. Now, it depends on if you are trusting the person already or not. But you want to look at it as I'm going to take it and I'm going to see what I can get out of the reading. However much you believe in your readings is however much is going to flow out for you. Okay? And that's just on with me. Now, I can't say this for other readers out there because they can be doing it their own way. And they can be up to par, they cannot be up to par. They can be, you know, at different levels. So I'm going to just say this about myself, okay? So when you have a reading with me, I want you to take that reading and see, what is she really talking about? Is she talking about my current time? Or is she talking about the future? Or is she talking about potentials that I can and have? Okay? So this is going to be for Eric Christopher. If you have come here and are listening, this is for you. You have won the reading. So I'm going to do a 3-card pull. I also want to say that all good readings lead to new beginnings and leads to higher consciousness, a connection to higher consciousness. Okay, I have 3 cards here for you, Christopher. So for Christopher, for Eric Christopher, right now, okay, I'm just gonna do a cleansing because of all the the talks here. So Eric Christopher, right now there's been a lower energy in regards to career area. It feels like you are on the brinks of change for your career, almost like at a high -10 level, and crossing to a total change 360 degrees in what you're trying to do, business wise or career wise. You want to actually start your own thing. You don't want to continue on with the career that you've had in the past. You have outgrown that career as well as so many others. Eric, you are also feeling really down in your passion for that career area. You have the passion, but you have doubts if that can make you a significant amount of money that you are hoping to do and to make. So I want to encourage you, Eric, that you can do it, and it just takes for you to make one decision. The decision is for you to allowing your abundance, especially in this window of opportunity. Like I said, it's going to be this right now in March to partial of April, mid of April or so. And it's a window of opportunity for you, Eric. So take that opportunity and start it. Start what you need to do. And still stop holding yourself back or sabotaging self and telling yourself that you may not be good enough for this business that you are doing, that you want to get out there. I'm seeing it's something very creative, but with hands. It's also something of a connection to another business partner as well. So allow yourself to do that. Stop feeling the hurt from the corporate world, or the how do I say this? That you haven't been recognized well there. So you have been very challenged with thoughts of really getting out there and being more free about yourself, being more free about what you can be creative about. So open yourself to that opportunity right now. You need to go and do that creation because other people needs it. The other thing is that your energy level right now is at its high peak of goodness, a high peak of abundance, really. And that's trying to come in, financial abundance, but also at the same time, independence abundance is there. It's trying to help you to get over this whole career thing that you're trying to get over, you're trying to go through. But your abundance is at a high peak right now, at a high level 10. Your energy is at a high level 10 as well. And health-wise, I cannot say that it's been too bad. I will say that right now you need to embrace your health and wellness. And you've been on that path, Eric. But at the same time, this high peak of health and wellness is helping you to get through this career phase. Okay, it is a phase. It's not going to last forever. On the other hand, your relationship is something that you need to get a hold of, a little bit more clarity on, Eric. It feels like it's leading to something good. So I want you to open up your heart to it, and to also make your say if this is really what you want, because this partner that you have on the side, this love that you're willing to show out to a certain partner, is barely brewing at this time. But it's to also say, how do you want to make it? What is your say in it? What is your desire of it for this relationship to go in? And if you have the desire, it can go further. If you don't, then you may want to close that chapter soon. But it feels like you don't want to do it. You do want to move forward with this love relationship, and to continue to open your heart out to a certain partner. But again, you have to question yourself, is this partner what I truly desire? Okay, so that is the 3-card pull for Eric Christopher. And I want to wish you well, Eric Christopher, on this whole business venture that's coming up for you. And also finding your passion, or saying that what you've been passionate about in the past is also your passion now. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to stop today. And this is all I had for you guys today. Warm blessings to those that have been watching. If you want more things, more talks, more information on anything, please type that down in the comments below or in the chat, and I'll take a look at it after and see what I can come up with. If you guys want to know about anything, just put that topic in the comments or in the chat, and I'll be happy to come out here and put in what my channeled wisdom would be. All right, warm blessings to all of you, and you guys have a warm weekend as well, and connect with me through Master Palai Chi. If you haven't, go on to falithehealing.com, www.falithehealing.com. You can find energy healing balms there, manifesting candles there, to help you to get to 5D, because that's where you're trying to go to in 2024. I know it's been like a segue into from 3D to 5D, and it's been crossing 4D some of the time here from 2023, but in 2024 there's going to be a ton of us trying to get to that 5D on a higher peak level. So if you are one of those people, and I want you to put this in the back of your mind before I end this video, is what will it mean for me to get to 5D? What does it mean for me to be more spiritual, to be more shamanic, to be more seer, to be more psychic? What does it mean for me in my life if I can hone in on that ability? Because what it really means is you are going to go to a higher humanistic level. And that's where we want our planet to be, so that the benevolence can connect to us in a way that everyone can agree to. And that's what it means for our human race, is to actually agree without really debating. All right? Warm blessings, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.